Hi and welcome to this video series. You're really going to be in for a treat, I think. If you're anyway interested in how to get fitter, how does the body actually work during strength training, and what's the practical tips or what's the best way to structure your gym or your home workouts, then you are, I think, going to really enjoy this. This is something I'm a lecturer. I'm Dr. Owen Everard. I have a PhD in biomechanics and I teach sports science and program design at college level. So I've just condensed some of the absolute best stuff I have and put it into a couple of these email series videos. So without further ado, let's get going. They always say you should really say what it is beforehand. So just want to understand how you structure a program. I would say 90+%, and I'm talking like professionals as well, have absolutely zero clue how to program. Like what way do you structure a gym program to be effective? And with that, then we want to look at the components of fitness that make that up. Okay, so it's not just random exercise. There should be like a good logic to what you're doing. Okay, so this is where we start then. Alva Mehl had this hierarchy, and what hierarchy is essentially is you don't go to level 2 until you're very proficient at level 1, and then you get good at level 2, then level 3, then level 4, level 5. Now what you'll find is that we still want to be able to do all these areas. So like we're going to talk about, this is the updated model by Panarello in 2016-2017, but we want to get our movement base first. We want to then look at work capacity, which is kind of like hypertrophy and muscle re-education. Then we want to look at strength. Then we want to look at like a kind of explosive strength, which is like strength speed and speed strength, like power, and then like plyometrics, and then like speed. And if we have these aspects in it, you're going to like aesthetically look very good, and you're going to have like a really like across the range level of fitness that's going to be very helpful. Okay, so we need to just understand what each of these means, maybe understand like what exercises to do to help him. And if you have any comments, I can add it in. I'll put it up on YouTube. Can't really see this, but this was Robbie Burke kind of worked on this again. So nutrition, supplement lifetime, your sleep, like getting all the basics right. Then working on make sure that you're moving correctly. And on the next video series, we'll start there looking at like, well, how do we move correctly? Like what are the key areas to do that correctly? And then we can look at like work capacity essentially is hypertrophy. It's like the ability to resist fatigue. It's like just getting generally fit, because a lot of people can go for strength and they can be doing like very heavy, 5 reps of an exercise, but what can happen there then is that like their body, the tendons, the muscles, like the joints, even the ligaments in the bones haven't got used to like moving that weight, a relatively heavy weight, a number of times from like say 10 to 15. So what we want is, first we want to be moving well, that like you're moving smoothly, you're doing the exercise correctly with good technique. Then it's important to develop this like kind of work capacity, the body comp, and that's your reps of like 10 to 15, where you're essentially like trying to like get the body just generally strong, generally fit. And what that then allows you to do is it allows your body to like be prepared for the power, which takes a lot more effort, like a lot more eccentric strength in the muscle. It allows the body to be able to like do the strength training without breaking down and without causing injury. And then having that strength, that's like the horsepower in the engine. Having the power, that's like the ability to like, the engine might be like very big but kind of spin the wheels, which is the power. And then the kind of speed is essentially that the rubber meets the road, that the wheels spin hard, that they grip, and everything is efficient. Okay, and that's what we kind of want to hit in our programs. Sorry, I might move me over here so I'm straight over the camera. So we need to hit this. So before we're working on strength, and you see a lot of people hurt themselves because they're doing exercises before they've built that like rep range. And then they're doing those type of exercises before they've got the good movement. Now, we don't all have to do that at the same time. We can be working on different layers of this as we go. Okay, so it shouldn't be just all foam rolling the first day. Also then when we're looking at the structure, Charlie Francis would have talked about this thing, the high-low method. And what that is essentially like you break your training into like high intensity days. That's like your gym. If you're doing any kind of speed work, these things tax the nervous system. So if you're doing those days, they want to be followed by low intensity days, which are like going to build our aerobic fitness. So we've kind of in the triangle really worked on like good movement, getting you moving well, getting you like powerful, getting you strong, getting you like generally just very strong and fit with the work capacity and our speed. And then on the other days, we let the nervous system kind of recover and we build our aerobic capacity, and that gets our cardiovascular fitness. That helps us to burn the calories. So like every second day. So if we're doing it, just pause if you want and just see like how would you structure a week then? Say if you were working out maybe 4 or 5 times a week. What would you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just based on this? Okay, hopefully you did that. So Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, with a day in between, you might do your lifts or your gym or your speed work. Thursday and Tuesday, they could be your tempo work. So you're doing your aerobic, you could do a jog. You could do like an aerobic type session. If you have like a heart rate monitor, I would get lactic test. You could do a couple of those aerobic sessions. If you want any kind of information on that, you can go to the everpilates.com and we'd sort that out in terms of the running. But here then we would just want to really focus on the gym side of the thing. Okay, so the home workout, the gym. And as I said, this is the session structure I use. I'll come back to it in a second. Other people use like Mike Boyle uses a nice one, like kind of foam rolling, stretching, then doing your kind of warm up, then doing your power, speed, Olympic lift, strength, and then kind of sport specific. I like this one, which essentially is you do your warm up, then you start with the power exercises. Now these don't have to be like Olympic lifts or jumps. There's other ones that we can do, and I'm going to show you a couple today. Then you want to do some sort of strength. Again, this doesn't have to be something like, super heavy initially or not even a lot of the session, but we want to at least have a little bit of these buckets in every session that we do. C&D is work capacity, and that's what we said. We'll talk about that more, but it's that ability to resist fatigue. It's your 10 to 15 reps. It's just getting you generally fit with weight. Okay, and again, that's hypertrophy. That's going to build muscle. That's going to help us tone. So again, if general fitness is our goal, like just want to look good and feel a bit better. And a lot of the gyms that I have at the moment with the back aware belt really work on work capacity, because that's kind of where most of us want. We're not going towards being powerlifters or strength. We're just adding a little bit of this in so that we have a rounded approach. But we're mainly going to focus here, okay, in a C and a D block. And then E block is going to be like our core or movement corrections. Sometimes what I like to do is, because this is the first element, I think people should be doing like Pilates once a week. So if I was doing my high-low day, I might do, Monday, Wednesday as gym, and then a Pilates. And especially if you're new to it, you might do Pilates twice in the week for the first, 6 weeks with a gym 1 day a week. And then go 2 days gym, 1 day Pilates. And then you might go 3 gyms, runs here, and then maybe Pilates here as well. So you want to just keep that movement in a little bit. So sometimes what I do is I'll do shorter gyms here, and then we'll have, maybe a 20-minute Pilates afterwards, or I might just have my full Pilates day. And I'd recommend the sports Pilates that we'd have on backawarebelt.com for that. Okay, so we kind of talked, about what work capacity is, but again, it's Vern Better talks about it's the ability to tolerate a high workload. Okay, so basically it's like, can you sustain the work you put on your body, and the ability to recover from workload sufficiently for the next training session and or game or competition, and it's the ability to resist fatigue. So for elite sports people, I would have worked with a lot of elite teams. They would do a lot of work capacity in the preseason because, if they're playing match on match, they need to really make sure that their bodies are up for it. As I said, if people are just looking for like general fitness, this is the type of work that will get you in the best shape. How do you do it? It's basically that circuit type training. Okay, So you're either going to do like 3 to 6 sets, like 10 to 15 reps, or you might do it on time, like a minute on, 20 seconds off. I encourage, like, again, that you would do it's Rocky the dog. Then you would do you would do weights here as well, though. Like, you should have the movements beforehand, and again, we're going to have a whole thing on how to develop good movement, and that's where we're going to use our Pilates, but we'll do that on the next call. I just wanted to kind of give an overview today. The other thing as well is we don't want all the same type of action. People can do squats into split squats, into leg press or whatever, or step ups, and that's all what we call knee dominant. It's like the knee's the main joint. So we want some exercises that are what we call hip dominant. We want some exercises that are knee dominant. We want horizontal, so pushing and pulling in this direction. We want vertical, push and pull. Can we get it all into one session? Maybe not, but we need to have a balance between what we're doing so that we get, over time, this really rounded out. So we're rounding out both the kind of like capabilities in the muscle from like, okay, we're going to focus primarily on the work capacity stuff, but we still putting in a bit of power, we're still putting in a bit of strength, and then and we're still having our good movement. And as well as that, then, so like how the body, like, we're strong, we're powerful, we're fit, and we're working here, but then we're also like, keeping the body itself balanced, that the front and the back is balanced, that up and down is balanced, So again, this is stuff that people don't think about enough, and it's just important to consider it. Okay, so I'm going to go over, so this would just be an example of like 4 that you might do as a work capacity set. So like doing like a vertical push-pull here, split squat, so that's a knee dominant, that's a hip dominant, you see, it's more at the hip. And then that's again a horizontal, like kind of push-pull. So like we're doing a press-up, which is the push part, and then we're rowing the dumbbell, and this is a vertical kind of push, really. So yeah, let's go. I wonder why can't I click that? I can click that one, but not that one. I don't know if that's the one I want. Let's see. Put 2 in here. So you can see as well, we'll just, I don't really get done on that now. Okay, so this will be an example of, now, why is that doing that? I don't know, Rocky, either. Okay, so we won't go through all of this, but I just want to show you like a kind of example of an early enough gym that we would do here. So we're doing just like a hip opener here, just something kind of warm up, just to get the hips open. And again, we'll talk about the movement, much more about how we address that movement and get better movement in the next lecture. But we're just opening up. Yeah, come on. And then we're coming down. This is going to work on a core. So essentially these are a few like little movement ones, little bit of flexibility that I'll probably have to work on myself. But so little bit on movement, little bit on the flexibility there. And okay, so here would be one of our first power exercises. Now people will do a lot of like jumping, which again, if your knees are not used to it, I kind of steer away from. Sleds are great, like pushing a car if you can't do it outside, but these are great ones to do here. This is one I would do instead of an Olympic lift. So I'm just going to hold the dumbbell, sitting in, and then pushing up. Okay, so you're concentrating on really jumping through the legs, but because you have the weight, you're not going to actually lift that high. And you can see there, that was too light a weight. I did these quite light just because I'm on the screen here, but you see as well, we have good movement. Like my back position hasn't changed. I'm sitting in at my hips. So if I'm not able to do that correctly, I'm going to make sure I'm correcting the movement first. If I'm not able to like hold the core with weight, I'm going to just do much more of the work capacity stuff. But this is our A block here, where we're just sitting in. I'm still going to do a lot of work capacity. Sometimes people would do only like 5 reps, 3 sets. Here I'm going to do 5 reps each side, really pushing up, sitting in. I'm just going to let this dude out because he's going nuts. So we're sitting in, doing that exercise. Okay, so then what I did was I just supersetted it, because again, the goal here is like work capacity. It's just like getting used to good movement again. You see, we're just doing a mountain climber, just making sure that my back position's not changing. A lot of people bring their knee up way too far and they're rounding at their back doing that. And then we'll go back into a jump. Here we'll do just a row. So again, you can see we're kind of mixing up the exercises that we're doing. Upper, lower, bit of core, and then we're doing our jump. Okay, and then we're going to go into that like knee dominance. You see, we're really bending at the knee. So any lunging, any squats are going to be kind of a knee dominant. Do like 12 of those, and then we're going to do our vertical kind of like push-pull. Again, keeping the core solid as we do that. And one thing you'll see here, we're working, because I'm going upper, lower with different things, turn it. This isn't the time now where you're going to need a lot of breaks. If you're doing more strength training, you're going to need to take the breaks just to kind of allow you to do it. This one is, as long as like say my back wear belt's not vibrating or buzzing, or if I see it on my screen, it's not going haywire, we're just moving on to the next one, because we should be, I'm literally not taking a break there, and that should be the same. So we go 2, 1, bang, and we're up. You could go, a heavier weight, or just wimp out like I did. Okay, belly buttons in. Then one thing with the single leg deadlift. Now we'll be going through ones where I go through what the key faults are. Again, we want all the movement through the hip, not through the back there, so we shouldn't see that sensor move. But we do single leg deadlift, and then we said we go into like a press up with a row straight into it and coming down. Okay, and again, I can't remember how many I did this here, but you're looking like maybe 8 each side there, 6 each side, building up. Then usually I would do the B blocks, so A block was the power, that jump one. This was the C and D block. So lastly then, for strength, what I did was I did just a hip thruster. Now I usually would do that before the C and D block, or for the max strength, but at this stage I just said, you know what, it can be awkward coming up and down, so I just decided to do it at the very end. But again, so we're working on our strength here, folding at the hips. But that just gives an example of where we can be in terms of the gym side of things, that we want to really focus on those different blocks. So you see, it's even in something simple like that, half an hour, we can have our bit of power, a bit of strength at the end, and then our kind of work capacity being the main stuff. Here's an example of work capacity. Olympic lifts, you could do that jump one we said. Like anything with explosion, we do other ones horizontal. I'm not mad on jumping just for the knees, but we're doing some kind of power. Then you could do like a kind of some kind of upper or lower body strength if it's just a hard exercise to do. And then, do a push-up, that's a press. Deadlift is a hip dominant one. T-Rex row underneath a bar, pulling up, and then goblet squat. And again, what I'll be doing is sending videos through of how to do all these correctly. And again, there's not much break. See, if that takes a minute to do, take a minute off, move to the next. And I don't even take that minute off. I just roll through those as many times as possible. So hopefully that helps, that you want to make sure that in your training, you're aware of okay, is my movement good? If it is, okay, what is my general fitness like? Can I do a lot of reps, 15 reps of an exercise with 60% of my 1 rep max multiple times going from exercise to exercise? That's the type of stuff that will get you fittest. Once I can do that, then adding in some strength, could be like a heavier squat or a heavier upper body exercise, like a pull-up or a bench or something with just that's heavier, and you're looking at reps of between 2 and 6 reps, and then 3 to 5 sets. and then you can do some of your power again, that like push up one there, and we have other variations with, say, with the back aware belt if you want to try those out. So again, if you want to comment, I can answer any questions down below, or if you're getting this on email, just reply. Okay, hope you enjoyed that.